Communities in Niger State benefit from lawmakers' interventions. Federal government set to establish CNG fueling stations across the country. And on the foreign scene, United Nations Security Council set to vote Gaza stabilization plans. Studio time checks 12 noon. Good afternoon and welcome to the news at midday on NEXTER Radio 97.7 FM Mina. I am Hajara Muhammad Sambu. Today, Monday, 17th November 2025, equivalent to 26th Jumad al-Ula 1447 after Hijrah. Now, the news in details. President Tinubu has deployed a special presidential emissary to the Plateau State, which has been the epicenter of inter-ethnic and inter-religious crisis for decades, a step expected to bring a permanent truce on the Plateau crisis. For 2 days last week, the emissary Dr. Abiodun Esiet had engagement with leaders of religious and ethnic nationalities in the state with a presidential peace deal. According to the presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga, Dr. Esiet also met with traditional rulers, community groups, and youth representatives. The meeting was focused on strengthening community-based peace structures and promoting coexistence among diverse ethnic and religious communities in the state. More than 100 students in Pekuru local government area of Niger State are now able to further their education through a scholarship program introduced by the member representing Pekuru constituency at the Niger State House of Assembly, Umar Nasser Penku. Speaking on a NEXTER FM radio program in Mina, the lawmaker explained that the initiative was designed as a practical response to the rising number of secondary and tertiary students who were unable to continue schooling due to financial constraints. Beyond scholarships, Paiko said his empowerment projects are spread across all 11 wards of the constituency, focusing on basic high-need areas such as water access, community electrification, and small-scale economic support interventions he described as immediate needs with measurable community impact. One of the most challenging issues he noted had been insecurity in 6 wards of Pekoro local government area and communities that once suffered recurrent attacks now enjoy relative peace. He attributed this improvement to a multi-stakeholder approach involving the state government under Governor Umar Muhammad Babu, security agencies and traditional institutions who coordinated intelligence sharing, community vigilance groups, and early warning systems. While acknowledging the progress, lawmakers stressed that sustaining these gains will require continued collaboration and community engagement, reaffirmed his commitment to expanding access to education and social amenities, and urged residents to support ongoing efforts aimed at strengthening peace and local development. In a similar story, member representing Chanchaga constituency in the Niger State House of Assembly, Muhammad Abubakar Ustaz, has attributed the relative peace and security enjoyed in his constituency to the tireless efforts of Governor Umar Muhammad Babu, security agencies, traditional rulers, and critical stakeholders in bringing an end to youth restiveness. Muhammad Abubakar Ustaz made the remark while speaking on NEXTER FM radio in Mina. He said Mina, the state capital, was almost becoming insecure and commended efforts of the stakeholders in bringing the situation under control. Highlighting some of his achievements, member Abubakar Ustaz said since assumption of office, he has been able to empower youths and women in various skills acquisition programs in addition to the provision of POS machines, vehicles, and motorcycles. These programs, Ustaz Abubakar further explained, was designed to engage youths in meaningful businesses that would make them self-reliant. National Pension Commission PENCOM says delays in pension payments for retirees of Treasury-funded MDAs are now a thing of the past. Head of Corporate Communications Ibrahim Boy confirmed in Abuja that payments for November retirees have been completed, while those retiring in December will receive their benefits from the 15th of the month. He noted that recent reforms and improved remittances have strengthened the system. Boy also revealed that the federal government has released over 758 billion in bond proceeds to clear outstanding pension liabilities, including arrears dating back to 2007. He assured retirees that PENCON remains committed to safeguarding their welfare nationwide. Meanwhile, PENCON has signed an MOU with the ICPC to enforce recovery of unremitted pension contributions. The agreement empowers the anti corruption agency to recover funds and penalize defaulting employers in line with the law. Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology Dr. Kingsley Ude said only a nation funded strongly on science, technology, and innovation can achieve sustainable development. Speaking at the World Science Day in Abuja, the minister said the government is formulating policies to integrate local knowledge, culture, and creativity into Nigeria's innovation framework. Dr. Ude added youths hold the key to the country's technological advancement by empowering them and creating an enabling environment. The country can build an economy that is competitive, inclusive, and sustainable. He urged Nigerians to support greater youth participation in science, technology, and innovation, describing the younger generations as the innovators and entrepreneurs who will shape the nation's future. Federal government is set to establish 500 compressed national natural gas refueling stations across the country within 3 years as part of its effort to accelerate Nigeria's transition to cleaner, cheaper fuels and ease pressure on petrol consumptions. MDGIF Oluwole Adama, in a statement, said the conclusion of discussions between the Midstream and Downstream Gas Infrastructure Fund and Chinese equipment manufacturer Endurance Group on the rollout of large-scale CNG infrastructure. Adama said the talks resulted in an agreement to create a government-backed special purpose vehicle promoted by the MDGIF, Bank of Industry, Endurance Group, and Secor Investment partners to drive the project. The news is coming your way live from NEXTER FM 97.7 Mina. Remember that you can follow us on Facebook and YouTube at NEXTER FM 97.7 and enjoy more. Welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned. Federal Capital Territory Police Command has debunked claims on an assassination attempt on the life of a Nigerian Navy officer, Lieutenant A.M. Yarima, who recently clashed with the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. The police, in a statement, said the claims of an assassination attempt against Yarima are false and unverified. The statement, signed by the FCT Police Command spokesperson Josephine Ade, added that no such incident has been reported or recorded anywhere within the Federal Capital Territory. Recall that rumors broke out in the late hours of 16th November 2025 that Lieutenant A.M. Yarima, a young Nigerian Navy officer involved in a recent altercation with the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, reportedly escaped an attempt trailing by unidentified individuals in Abuja. Miet Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria has appealed to the United States Congress to remove its name from a proposed sanction list under House Resolution 860. Addressing journalists in Abuja, its president, Baba Utman Ingelzarma, rejected what he called misleading assertions in the bill, insisting the group is a lawful socio-cultural association, not militia. Following the U.S. proposal to ban visas and freeze assets of entities accused of violating religious freedom, MACBAN argued that the resolution wrongly links peaceful pastoralists with criminal elements, stressing that the association has no ties to extremisms and has long collaborated with security agencies, peace-building organizations, and international partners. The group highlighted heavy losses suffered by pastoralists over the years and noted that several of its leaders were killed for cooperating with authorities. Nigerian army says its troops have, in the last 24 hours, destroyed Kali terrorist enclaves in Katsina. Key terrorist enclaves in Katsina, Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, Kogi, Kwara, Imo, and Benue states. A credible source at the Army headquarters told the newsman that the operations were conducted across the theater of operations nationwide. In Katsina, he said the troops of Sector 2 Operation Fansanyama, supported by the air component, launched early morning offensives on the terrorist hideouts in Faskari and Sabwa local government areas. According to him, airstrikes hit unidentified enclaves while group of troops blocked escape routes at Dankolo, capturing motorcycles and uncovering 231 livestock. Nigerian Institute of Public Relations has taken its campaign for the World Public Relations Forum, Abuja 2026, beyond the country's borders. Just weeks after the national unveiling of the forum and the opening of early bird registration, NIPR President Dr. Ike Neliaku is leading a Nigerian delegation to the Global Alliance Strategy meeting at the University of Sharjah in the United Arab Emirates. Dr. Neliaku, in a meeting with global public relations leaders as part of preparations for the official international unveiling of WPRF Abuja 2026. The consultation in the UAE highlights NIPR's determination to project Nigeria's voice on the global communication stage and to position Abuja as host of what is expected to be the biggest and boldest forum in the history of the Global Alliance. Nigeria's dream of reaching the 2026 FIFA World Cup has ended after the Super Eagles lost to the Democratic Republic of Congo in the African Playoff Final in Rabat, Morocco, despite taking an early lead in the third minute when Frank Onyeka's strike was deflected into the net. The Leopards equalized in the 32nd minute through Mechak Elia after a defensive error. The tense match finished a 1-1 after extra time, forcing a penalty shootout where Dr. Congo won 4-3, while Adams Ako, Bruno Onyemachi, and Chidera Ejuke scored for Nigeria. Misses from Moses Simon, Calvin Bassi, and Semi Ajayi proved costly. Dr. Congo's substitute goalkeeper, Timothy Fayulu, was the hero of the night with two crucial saves. This defeat means Nigeria will miss a second consecutive World Cup for the first time since 1994, while Dr. Congo moved closer to securing their first World Cup appearance since 1974. At this point, we move to the foreign scene. United Nations Security Council is set to vote on a US drafted resolution bolstering Donald Trump's Gaza peace plan, especially the deployment of an international force, as Washington warns that a failure to act could lead to renewed fighting. The draft, which has been revised several times as a result of high-stakes negotiations, endorses the plan, which allowed for a fragile ceasefire between Israel and Hamas to take hold in the war-wrecked Palestinian territory. The Gaza Strip has been largely reduced to rubble after 2 years of fighting sparked by Hamas' attack on Israel. And on this note, we've come to the end of the news, but before I go, a recap of the top stories once again. Communities in Niger State have benefits from lawmakers' interventions. Federal government set to establish CNG fueling stations across the country. United Nations Security Council set to vote Gaza stabilization plans. On behalf of the entire newsroom crew, a news edited by myself, Hajar Muhammad Sambo, I am Hajara Muhammad Sambo, signing off.